Hi, everyone. Grant Liffmann here alongside Kurt Helin, and we want to bring up what could be the biggest questions following this free agency moves, the crazy offseason. And there's still more to play out at the moment right now as we film this. We still don't know where Peyton Watson's going. We don't know where Jonathan Kuminga is going. Will Duran sign with Detroit? All these question marks. But in the meantime, I want to bring up a few questions that I've seen out there in the media sphere, in the Twitter sphere, all out there. And first off, I want to talk about the Sixers because obviously we're talking about they had an incredible offseason. Their starting lineup is as stacked as any starting lineup I've seen in some time. It is absolutely great when they're healthy, right? So the question is the group off the bench. They brought in Simons. They have Dean Wade now. Huck Porty's there now instead of Drummond. They drafted Phylon. Don Barlow made some really good progress last year. He's not a new addition. They have Edwards. Can he take that leap? Can Adem Bona be that guy? Kurt, what I'm asking is their depth good enough to be a championship contender after you get past that starting lineup?
Yeah, after you get past Joel Embiid's knees, the question, which is really the biggest one. I think so for a couple of reasons. I like Dean Wade. I thought that was a great pickup for postseason just because, again, he brings some defense. He can shoot the three. I'm not sure how much you're going to be able to play Simons in the postseason. He's going to help win them a couple games in the regular season and give them some stuff, but I'm not sure how far they go there. I want to believe in Huck Porty and Adem Bona. They may have to address that over the course of the season. They may need to go get another 5. And all that said, I think they can make it. Tell me if you're wrong here. This isn't the West in the sense that, I've got to chase juggernauts. The Knicks are going to be my pick. The Knicks are very good, but the Knicks got slightly worse, right? They don't have Mitchell Robinson. Everybody's got some questions in the East, and I feel like Philadelphia is as close to answering theirs as anybody.
Yeah, no, injuries are going to be it's such an easy thing to go to, but this is a team. Embiid matters, right? Injuries matter. Yeah. LeBron's going to be 42. These things matter. But I will say this, and this is what happens to a lot of super teams or when you put these starting lineups together. Their depth in their bench is based off of their starting lineup because what you do is you start staggering guys. And that's the thing, the beauty of the high usage. I know everyone's talking about the high usage of when these guys are together, but now think about the stagger. All of a sudden, no matter what on a court, you either have Maxey or Jaylen Brown. You either have LeBron or Embiid. You have these guys, and then all of a sudden, Dean Wade and Simons and that stuff goes in. Obviously, injuries will play a major factor in every season, right? And this team definitely has some question marks there. But the point is, depth to me has to do with your totality of players. And when you have high usage players, you start dividing them up. And again, I want to bring up an example of the Golden State Warriors. When Steph Curry, KD, and those guys were there are sometimes people are like, well, is their bench good enough? Is Ian Clark going to be a huge crew? And I'm like, hold on a second, slow down. Steph Curry's out there, and then when he's off, Kevin Durant takes over. They'll be fine. You know what I mean? And so right now, but to be fair though, when you get to the playoffs, as you're saying though, when the rotations shorten and everything shrinks a little bit, if you are hurt, there's some big holes there. If you're not hurt, you start wondering who's the 8-9 guys, right? Who's those 8, 9, 7, but I think they're fine on the front end. But another one I want to talk about in terms of just overall depth of a team is the Los Angeles Lakers, because they had a huge turnover, right?
Yeah.
Huge turnover from last season. And for a team that actually, I want to give them credit. I want to give JJ Redick credit. I want to give their team credit. They played much better defense in the second half than I ever thought they should. And I think they even outplayed the talent on their team, the way they competed on defense. So I want to give some love there. But defense to me is still a major, major issue, if not worse now. They lost Marcus Smart, right? And so that's their best defender, especially during the playoffs. He was great. Quentin Grimes is probably their best perimeter defender now, which is he's okay. I'm not saying he's bad, but you're putting a lot of pressure on Quentin Grimes. Obviously Vanderbilt, he's the best perimeter defender, but how much are they playing Vanderbilt? That's a question mark. To me, Kurt, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're relying a lot on Walker Kessler to solidify everything. And one thing I know for sure, the worst thing that can happen to a good defensive center is when your perimeter allows straight line drives at the rim. Yes, your best defender, your center, will clean that up. But what ends up happening is offensive rebounds and putbacks and outlet passes and all those things happen. And the blender starts when you take a center into like, he has to cover that guy who's broken through. So I have some concerns there. I really do, Kurt.
Yeah, exactly. They really are asking Walker Kessler to come in and be Utah Rudy Gobert, basically, right? Like, we are going to try to funnel everything to him and have him shut down the paint. And like you said, that the flaws with that become when you get in the blender, or as we saw in the playoffs when Doc Rivers and the Clippers, or was it Ty Lue and the Clippers got to him. If you've got a stretch five, if you can make him choose between stopping the guy on the direct line drive and the guy who's going to hit the corner three, you can make this an issue. I think the Lakers would love to get to a point in the playoffs where that's the issue. Like, I'm really curious about this team and their defense, because I think I like their offseason. I think they pivoted away from LeBron James. They did a much better job of building a team fit for Luka Doncic. But Grant, are they actually better than last year? Are they going to win more games or go farther in the playoffs?
I'm sick of saying health, but health, that's going to matter, right? Like, it's just, is Luka going to be healthy? If Luka's healthy, you're going to automatic 40 to 50 wins. Like, it doesn't even matter who's on your roster at that point. He's that good. But Walker Kessler's like, he hasn't played, like, how many games did he play last year? Like that's
5 and then
5, 6 or whatever.
Before that. Yeah.
So like,
he didn't play 60 last year.
It's a huge concern, and that's going to matter. So we will see how that plays out. Really, like, lost in these massive trades that have happened. How about Minnesota now has LaMelo Ball, right? Like, LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards are a backcourt. Kurt, like, I mean, the name value is amazing. You start talking about, like, does that mesh well in your mind? Is that a good combo?
Can I just say off the top, I think Ant is going to have a massive year now. Like, I think this sets up really well for him because he's got a real point guard next to him who can draw some more attention, isn't just kind of setting the table. Nothing against Mike Conley, but like, defense is going to have to pay more attention to him, and not having Julius Randle, not maybe clogging the paint as much. Just, I think you're going to have a monster year from Ant, but I'm not sure that this really works. I don't know that they got better. To me, this felt like Minnesota said, we're not good enough. Let's take a flyer on this opportunity. Like, let's try this kind of crazy thing that probably won't work, but we have to do something.
Yeah, no, I always want to give Tim Connolly, Matt Lloyd, that whole group credit. They are not afraid to try and to throw a big trade and just see, let's try to make something work. And yeah, I think they saw they had a ceiling on their team and were like, hey, how do you break a ceiling? Well, you bring a guy that's high risk, high reward. And LaMelo Ball is as talented as, and I really mean this, as talented, as skilled as anybody in the NBA when he's going, right? Like, his size, his speed, his ability, he can shoot from 50 feet away, he can finish, but there's huge concerns, right? And so you don't know what you're going to get. But what I will say is this, as a backcourt, offensively, that is, I think they work seamlessly together. I really love it. I really love them together, offensively especially. Defensively, Anthony Edwards, when he's locked in, is one of the premier defenders in the league, but he has to be locked in. LaMelo, he has a length. They'll probably put him on whoever is the worst player, offensively out there. But the point is, they're another example of two guys that you can one off, one on at all times, and you're going to stay afloat offensively as long as those guys are out there. Ball's health, major concern always. Am I allowed to do? I think there should be, like, do I have to pay a fine every time I say health, or is it just assumed at this point?
You have to give me $1.
Okay. Oh man,
you just have to pay me.
I'm gonna be so poor soon. But one more team I want to bring up though is Miami, and so isn't it crazy? Like, we're naming these teams, and we haven't even named so many other teams that have traded for stars or superstars. It's just crazy. So Miami gets Giannis, and in the process, they gave up some shooting, right? They gave up some good depth. But the question is, when you're around Giannis, when you're around Bam, how do you create spacing? How do you create perimeter shooting? And they brought in, I thought, a wonderful X-Factor deal on Tim Hardaway Jr. You got a finalist for Sixth Man of the Year. The guy's while his numbers never actually reflect, like, the percentage isn't as high as you think, he keeps defenses honest because he is not afraid to shoot, and defenses know you have to cover him when he's out there. So him, Fontecchio can shoot the ball a little bit. Those are kind of your wing shooters. Wiggins is just not consistent enough, but like he'll have some games. Bobby Portis is an incredible stretch big in terms of like he shoots that 3-ball now. But that means one of Giannis or Bam are probably off the court when Portis is out there, most likely. Davion Mitchell can shoot a little bit. Like, do they have enough shooting in your mind?
I'm not sure they have enough shooting. I'm not totally sold on the defense. I fear for Giannis's sake that this is a good team with him playing, but not great. It's kind of Miami. It's kind of Milwaukee 2.0, but with better weather. Like, I don't know that they're dramatically better than the Bucks were a couple of years ago when Giannis was healthy and playing, and not the championship year, but like some of the years after that, where I still think they need more. I still think they definitely need more shooting, a little more defense, a little more dynamic offense too. Like if I'm forming the wall in front of Giannis, who's making me pay the price? And I'm not sure who that is yet.
To me, this resembles somewhat of Detroit in that in the regular season, I think I'm going to give you $1 right now. If they stay healthy, this is a team that will get up some regular season wins because Giannis is a machine. Bam's Bam. Like they're a good team.
They're going to be Bam's so good.
But what ends up happening when the game slows down and people are a little bit more specific and get their matchups and really are paying attention, know your personnel, KYP, shooting matters a lot more. And that's going to matter in the playoffs. So they can still make moves. Well, that's the other thing. We're like writing off teams as if they can't make moves in the actually rest of the offseason, but also during the season. So we will see, and they will look into shooting and see what they need to do. But we'll see.
Miami is always aggressive. Like I'm not worried about them trying to go do it. So,
all right. Well, those are our biggest questions so far. Probably more to come. I'm sure there's more to come. Grant, Kurt, thanks for dropping.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.